first thing I realized yesterday. I came upon a second thought yesterday, and that is there are a lot of psychologists and counselors in this room, and I think they need to create a new DSM category, similar, a subcategory of PTSD, for those of us who have gone through what we've gone through, the loss of the temple. It is really difficult. And I don't know about you, but when I drive past Temple Emanu-El, I lose it a bit. I think many of you share that feeling. So I'm going to give you some information about this young man who you may not know through a different lens. A lens as the former president of Temple Emanu-El. Here's the lens. Rabbi Disick was hired as an interim rabbi, and he came to our temple to help us transition to a new rabbi and a new cantor. That in itself is unusual. Very, very unusual. Generally, it's just a rabbi, right? That's the typical assignment. So he started out with a very difficult assignment. And we were also not an easy congregation. There's no question about it. We're diverse, we're loud, we express our opinions. There is no way that any interim rabbi could be all things to all people. But on top of that, we were all suffering. There's no question about it, to differing degrees. And that's where we go back to the PTSD. We were all suffering to varying degrees to see our beloved temple seeking both a new rabbi and a new cantor. That's hard. So not only did he come in to a temple with no cantor and no rabbi, he came in and everybody was suffering to one degree or another. Am I right, Rabbi?
At the time that I was there, yes.
It was difficult. So that's the beginning of the lens. And then it got even more strange when we realized we could not survive financially. So Rabbi Disick, who was here to help us find a new cantor and a new rabbi, suddenly was presiding over the death of our synagogue. Thankfully, it became a beautiful merger with Temple Sinai. But we didn't know that initially. And he was there to guide us through that process. And that was not easy. I don't know. I spoke many times to Steve Fox, Rabbi Fox, who was the president of CCAR, and I spoke to Rick Jacobs, who was the president of the URJ, and they agreed. What Rabbi Disick was trying to do was really very unprecedented. First, it was a new cantor and a rabbi, and then on top of that, it suddenly became the dissolution of the temple and the merger. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the URJ, that set of facts. And he brought to us something that was really very miraculous from my perspective. He brought a wonderful sense of humor, and he brought a love of music. And he shared that with us. There was not a day that I saw Rabbi Disick that he didn't make me laugh. And that's pretty incredible. But above and beyond it, through my notes, I came to realize something else. And I don't even know if Rabbi Disick knows this. But what he was to Temple Emanu-El and now to Temple Sinai is very unusual and very wonderful. And it came to me that Rabbi Disick was not simply our rabbi and our friend, but he also played many other roles. And Dave and anyone else, feel free to chime in. Through my notes, which didn't make a lot of sense, there was one thing that made a lot of sense. He was our rabbi. He was to many, a counselor, maybe a psychotherapist. He helped us through very hard times. He was the consummate comedian. He was a great musician. When we started realizing we couldn't survive financially, he actually took out a calculator, and for a period of time, he was a bit of an accountant, trying to figure out if we could survive, if we couldn't survive, what it would take to survive. He was there. So far, I have rabbi, psychotherapist, comedian, accountant. One of his greatest talents of all was a musician. He was our musician, along with Cantor Corson, and he played the piano. He was a bit of a grief counselor, no question. Today, I came to this dinner with a ripped shirt. He took me upstairs and he gave me this shirt. He's a tailor on top of it all. When the board met, we were good. I mean, we got along, but at times he was also a mediator. There's no question he was also a cheerleader, and he was a strategic planner for us. He was our teacher at Torah study. He did public relations when it was unnecessary. I think it's fair to say that Rabbi Disick, we should anoint him as the Swiss Army knife of rabbis. He is everything and extraordinarily versatile. What did I miss, Dave? Anything? Did I get them all? So, as Rabbi Disick moves on, we thank him for all that he has done. We wish him good health, a peaceful next assignment, much love, music, and humor. Godspeed.
Thank you, John.